Since its first appearance in 1984, the Terminator has gone from being an unstoppable killer to becoming a hero. In this video, I'll show you how this machine evolved movie by movie. New models, new missions, and even human emotions. Get ready, because this is the evolution of the Terminator. Terminator, 1984. The world met the T-800 Model 101, the original Terminator, a metal skeleton covered in human tissue, sent from a post-apocalyptic future by the artificial intelligence Skynet. His mission? Eliminate Sarah Connor, an ordinary waitress, but with a crucial destiny. Her unborn son will one day lead the resistance against the machines. This Terminator is pure mechanical terror. He doesn't talk unless necessary. He doesn't run. He feels no pity. Every move is cold and calculated, like a shark among humans.
15-day wait on the handguns, but the rifles you can take right now. You can't do that.
And he was played by none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger, who turned this machine into a cultural icon. From the biker outfit to the legendary line, "I'll be back."
I'll be back.
In this first film, the enemy of the Terminator is literally the human. The Resistance sends Kyle Reese, a soldier from the future, back in time to protect Sarah. He has no superpowers, no tech, just determination and love for Sarah. The contrast between Kyle's humanity and the T-800's coldness defines the whole movie. The ending is epic. Reese sacrifices himself, and Sarah, wounded but determined, destroys the Terminator, proving that the future is not yet written. Terminator 2, Judgement Day, 1991. 7 years later came the game-changing sequel, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And yes, Arnold returns as the T-800, but something has changed. This time, he's not the villain. He's the protector of John Connor, Sarah's son. The same model, but reprogrammed by the Resistance to stop a new assassination attempt. And this is where the character starts to evolve. The T-800 is no longer just a machine. He starts to learn from human behavior and begins to question the value of life. He even has comedic moments like saying, "Hasta la vista, baby."
Hasta la vista, baby.
Or giving a thumbs up, a machine that's starting to look a lot like us. But if Arnold's no longer the bad guy, then who is? Enter the T-1000, the first liquid Terminator, a being made of mimetic polyalloy, liquid metal that can mimic any form it touches. It can become any person, create sharp weapons, and regenerate from almost any damage. Played by Robert Patrick, this Terminator doesn't need massive muscles. His threat is silent and sinister, like a predator disguised as a human. The T-1000 represents the peak of technology. Fast, flexible, almost indestructible. He's the perfect antagonist. Not only physically threatening John, but also showing how outdated the T-800 is becoming. The result? One of the most acclaimed sequels in film history, with groundbreaking special effects for its time, an emotional and action-packed story, and an unforgettable ending. The T-800 descending into molten steel, giving a final thumbs up, sacrificing himself for humanity. In this movie, the Terminator stops being just a machine and becomes a symbol of redemption. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, 2003. 12 years have passed since we last saw the T-800, and John Connor is no longer that rebellious kid from the 90s. Now he's a young adult, lost, living off the grid, disconnected, and without faith. He thinks the future has changed, that Judgment Day won't come. But he's wrong. Skynet strikes again, this time with a new assassin, the TX, also known as the Terminatrix, a deadly blend of the T-1000's liquid metal and a heavily armed robotic endoskeleton. She can shapeshift like her predecessor, but also has built-in weapons, brutal strength, and a chilling coldness. And who's there to stop her? Once again, the T-800, though this time it's an upgraded version, the T-850, visually the same as before, but with internal improvements. It features a new hydrogen fuel cell, enhanced durability, and is designed to withstand more advanced models like the TX. While still a protector, this T-850 is colder and more distant, showing almost none of the emotional learning from T2. Even so, he sacrifices himself once again, detonating his power core to destroy the TX and ensure John's survival. This movie also introduces the T1 model, one of the first ground combat units built by Skynet, clumsier and slower than the newer models, but they mark the beginning of mass-produced war machines. Here we learn that Judgment Day wasn't prevented, just delayed. Skynet activates anyway, unleashing nuclear war. It's a dark ending, where humanity loses, but also begins to fight back. Terminator 4, Salvation, 2009. For the first time, we see the future they feared so much. Welcome to the year 2018, a world after Judgment Day. Humanity lives in the shadow of machines. Skynet controls everything, and John Connor is no longer a rebellious kid. He's a hardened leader of the resistance, ready to fight with everything he's got. But something new happens here. The focus of the story isn't a T-800 or a killer Terminator. It's Marcus Wright, a death row inmate who wakes up decades later, changed. He's not fully human anymore. He's a hybrid, part man, part machine. Marcus doesn't even know he's part of a Skynet experiment. He has a heart, memories, emotions, but underneath it all, there's pure machinery. And that raises the big question. Can a machine with a soul choose to be human? Meanwhile, Skynet creates its first T-800. With CGI giving it Arnold's iconic face. It's their most lethal model yet, the prototype of the exterminators we already know. Though its appearance is brief, this T-800 marks a major turning point in the saga. This movie shifts the focus away from time travel and zeroes in on the brutal war between humans and machines. We see brand new Terminator models, from robotic motorcycles to giant aerial hunters and human-snatching machines. In the end, Marcus sacrifices himself, giving John his heart in one of the most human acts in the entire series, ironically carried out by a machine. Terminator 5, Genesis, 2015. Forget the past. This future has been completely rewritten. In Genesis, the original timeline gets totally shattered. It all starts like in the 1984 film. Skynet sends a T-800 back in time to kill Sarah Connor, and the Resistance sends Kyle Reese to protect her. But when Kyle arrives, everything's different. Sarah Connor is no longer a helpless waitress. She's a full-on warrior, trained since childhood by a Terminator. That's right, an aged T-800, whom she calls Pops. This Terminator was sent even further back in time for mysterious reasons, and has raised Sarah like a guardian ever since. This version of Arnold isn't the cold, silent killer anymore. He's got personality, dry humor, gray hair, and a strange fatherly bond with Sarah. A robotic dad trying to stay relevant in a world that's moved on. So who's the villain this time? Here comes the biggest plot twist yet. John Connor has been turned into a Terminator. Skynet infected him with nanotechnology, transforming him into the T-3000, a hybrid capable of regenerating, mutating, and even phasing through solid matter. He's like a molecular swarm, nearly impossible to kill. And worst of all, he's no longer John. He's now Skynet's ultimate weapon, trying to convince his own mother and Kyle to join the machine's new world order. Meanwhile, Skynet appears in this film not as a military program, but as Genesis, a global digital platform connecting every smart device on Earth. It's a direct critique of how modern tech is becoming a part of our lives, and potentially our downfall. In the end, Pops, the T-800, sacrifices himself again, but this time is reborn using liquid metal tech, becoming a mimetic T-800. Terminator 6, Dark Fate, 2019. Dark Fate completely erases all the sequels after Terminator 2. Yep, it ignores Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis. Here, the only canon is what happened up to Terminator 2, and it starts with a punch to the gut. John Connor is killed by another T-800, one that Skynet had sent before it was destroyed. It's brutal, unexpected, and devastating. Years later, the future is in danger once again. But this time, the threat isn't called Skynet, it's Legion, a brand new AI that caused its own version of the apocalypse. Just like Skynet, Legion sends a killer back in time, the Rev-9. And this Terminator is next level. It's got the metal endoskeleton of a T-800, plus the liquid metal skin of a T-1000. But here's the twist. It can split into two separate bodies. Double the killing power. It's faster, smarter, deadlier, and disturbingly human in the way it deceives its targets. The ultimate evolution of the robotic hunter. So who stands against it? Three new key players enter the scene. Dani Ramos, the new chosen one. Her future leadership is crucial in the fight against Legion. Grace, a cybernetically enhanced human sent from the future to protect Dani. She's not a machine, but she's got enhanced strength, speed, and endurance, though only for a limited time. And of course, Sarah Connor, the legend herself, tougher than ever, with years of experience hunting Terminators and a thirst for revenge that never fades. But the most most shocking twist, the T-800 that killed John is still alive.
Sarah Connor.
Now he goes by Carl. He's aged, grown a conscience, and even developed a sense of guilt. He lives with a family, and while he doesn't truly feel emotions, he's learned how to act like he does. In the final showdown, Grace sacrifices herself. Carl does too, and the Rev 9 is finally destroyed. But the message is clear. Fate can't be stopped, only faced. And that's been the evolution of the Terminator through the years, from villain to protector, from machine to something almost human. So, which version is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for sticking around. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and check out my channel. I've got more character evolutions you'll definitely enjoy. See you in the next one.